Well, hey everybody. I'm going to get off Twitter here and get my notes up. Welcome to Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune for the 9th day of November 2020. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and I guess we have a precedent. I just did the Esoteric Influences video just a minute ago, and I'm uploading it now to the YouTube page, but I was supposed to do it Sunday, but the day got away from us, and I didn't do it. And so anyhow, we went shopping like fools around noon, and I was so freaked out when I got home. I don't know. I was way too upset to do a video. Anyway, but it's going to be up here on the blog today. The video will be, and also on the YouTube channel, and also it'll go up on the side panel of the blog. Also, this will too. And then let's see, the write-up for the Esoteric Influences for the week, that's also up on the blog already. Also the weekly bind rune, if you want to check that out. Also, last week I did a post, if you'll recall, on the liver herbs, if you want to look at that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do one this week. Maybe I will, and I'll do it on, well, I won't be able to because I won't have any power. They're going to replace a power pole around the corner from us, I guess, on Thursday. So from 9 to 2, I won't have any power. So I'm going to do this on Wednesday instead of Thursday of this week because of that. So anyhow, today's rune is Sawillo. Haven't seen that one in a while. Is that which one is that? Is it the 17th? 16th. So it's a 7 energy. So there's the 7. It's an as above, so below rune. You can kind of see that there. You've got the as above, and then the horizontal plane, and then so below. Kind of skewed Kenaz, both up and down there. So light of spirit, it's a fire element a rune. It's, again, light of spirit. The will, exercise of will, it aligns with the sun. And so, I guess I better do the geomancy rune too. What did I do with those? Well, I don't know what I've done with my geomancy runes. So I guess I'm going to have to do it a different way, and that's okay. Let's just put all of these in a bag and pull one out. You know, I think I left them out on the hearth when I was doing the weekly influences. I must have left it out there. Sitting on the hearth. Oh, no. There they are. I don't have to do it that way. So I can pour these back in. Mondays. Oops. Well, I hope it's not that one because I don't know where that one went. I think it went into... Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. Well, let's see what it is. As I go throwing runes around. Well, looks like we have... Oh, is that going to be Tristitia? Yeah, it is. Okay. Well, Tristitia is kind of a... well, that's populous. Tristitia's, Laetitia's joy, and Tristitia is sadness, really. Here we have Tristitia. So, we'll see. It could also mean, if it's not, let's see, if there's another, I don't think it's going to say it on here, though, and I don't have my thing in here. Grief, evil. There's more to it than that. It's it's Saturn in Aquarius. So Saturn's going to slow things down, and you've got this, Aquarius is more about a lack of restriction. And so what you have there then, you got kind of that pull between freedom and joy and doing what you want to do, and Saturn being the buzzkill. So that's kind of the frustration. So maybe we'll talk about maybe a frustration of expression of will then with with Tristitia and Sawillo. Let's think about it that way. So with that as a backdrop, let's go ahead and take our cards. Let me move my keyboard out of the way so I can shuffle. If this is your first time here, welcome. Usually I was doing this 4 days a week, but now I've cut it back to to just twice a week, simply because I want to include something herbal during the week, or at least every other week. This week, though, again, I'll be doing this on Wednesday instead of Thursday, so don't forget that. Because of that power. Oh, I hate it when our power goes off. Everything goes off. It's just irritating. And of course, it's cold. So it's like, why do it now? Why not do it in the summertime when it's warmer and we can be outside? And but now we had some snow yesterday, and we don't really have snow on the ground. It just dusted, but it's still really cold and windy, and so it just makes you just kind of have to sit around and, I don't know, occupy yourself. One time they did it was in February, and I mean, we had to, I think we went and bought a generator, or maybe we already had it. I don't know. We might have already bought it, but we didn't know how long it was gonna be out for. I mean, it was out for like, oh geez, at least 24 full hours. And so we had to have the generator going so that we could, run the refrigerator and, and the TV and all of that. And we didn't have everything on, obviously, but plus we had to have a small heater going. And I mean, there was snow on the ground when this happened. So, I mean, in February is a terrible month here. January and February can be worse than January on the high desert for some reason. And I mean, we've been here since 81, and it's not uncommon for February to be the worst month of all. So I don't know. But, they do what they do, and it's on their schedule, and the rest of us just got to work it out and not fuss like I'm doing now. Anyway, let's go ahead and take our first 3 cards and see what we have. If we need another one, we'll take one. Otherwise, we'll just go with the 3, and we'll work it in with the kind of frustration on the will part today. And I do take the 13th card each time for randomness sake. Get my deck going in the right way. We start with the 8 of Pentacles, Earth element. Pentacles is, so practicality with the 8. He's building his fortune. He's creating his wealth. He's establishing himself in his trade. So I don't know, maybe with the Tristitia, there might be a little frustration with that, maybe. Maybe you're still out of work, due to your job maybe ending. Maybe the business closed during this pandemic, due to all the mishandling of it by the government. Hopefully we'll be turning that corner, but it's going to be a while. I heard that Pfizer's vaccine is ready. It's like 90% effective, I haven't read an entire article on it yet, though. And they're going to be dispensing, well, I don't know. I'm going to wait on that. Let's not say any more than that. I just read that, and of course, the administration tried to take credit for it, but they're actually not part of the Operation Warp Speed nonsense. And they've taken 0 money from the federal government. So this is all on Pfizer, what they've done. So kudos to them. Thank you for all your hard work, and hopefully while they won't have enough, it doesn't look like, for all of us, at least we can get them to the first responders and to vulnerable people, and who knows, maybe I can finally meet my grandson and see my granddaughter, who I haven't seen in a very long time. But at least if they get these out, then they can get some more out, and maybe the rest of us can whoever doesn't get it in the first round, if there is such a thing. I mean, who knows? Maybe they've got 300 million doses, but that's how many they're going to need. Well, more than that. I don't know how much more than that we have in the country, but in any event, let's take our next card. But I love it. They come out, the head of the group that created the whatever it's called, but the head of whoever does the vaccines, whoever did this vaccine anyway, came out right away and said, yeah, no, we weren't part of that, and we don't take any money from the government, so they had nothing to do with this. This is just us. Nobody's keeping their mouth shut now, are they? About time. Never should have happened to begin with. Queen of Cups, we have some compassion here with a female person in your life, or perhaps it represents you. She's compassion. She has empathy. She is concerned about other people and how they're doing and how well they are, and so it's kind of like the foundation, really. And when we look at even though it's cups in the water element and emotions, we're looking at some foundational stuff with the Eight of Pentacles. So we're really looking at kind of a mundane, it's a 9 energy for today, so endings and beginnings. Maybe we can begin again to rebuild with the 8. 8 is about strength and the spiritual warrior within. Think the rune Tiwaz with that. That Tiwaz is an 8 energy. It's the 17th rune of the Elder Futhark. I'll show you what it looks like. It's in this week's Esoteric Influences for, looks like Friday. So Tiwaz with the arrow. But as we rebuild, our security, part of that is how we extend compassion and love and harmony to other people, and the Queen is certainly one for that. Let's take our third card. Well, Temperance. Again, we have the angel here. It's the 14th card of the Major Arcana. Let me put these down, and we'll talk about this. We'll talk about Temperance first. We have the angel pouring water from one chalice to the other. One foot's on the ground. We have part of the angel's foot in the water in the small pool below. We see the sun rising between two peaks. We see the pathway down to the pond. We see the yellow irises growing right there. And we see the rays of spirit emanating from the angel's head. Its red wings filled with vitality and filled with Sawillo energy. It's having the source presence within, the soul, the magnification of the soul within, guiding the choice that we're making here to blend fire with water, to blend will with emotions, emotions quenching the fire when it needs to, of too much, right? But bringing things into balance and into temperance, moderation. And it's a change from the extreme nature of what we've all been experiencing of late, and that's affected our lives so dramatically. It's not that outer influences in society can't affect a person's life. I mean, for some people, that's all that seems to happen. It's like they're always having something happen in their lives where the external forces seem to be impacting them all the time. The rest of the population, though, just sort of goes about their daily lives and does what they do what they do. But then we have a president like what we currently have, who has, his whole thing was, I'm going to shake things up. Well, okay, that's fine. But are you going to do it in a way that's legal? Are you going to do it in a way that's that's respectful? Are you going to do it in a way that preserves the integrity and the foundation of the United States of America? Are you going to do it in conjunction with the Constitution? Or are you going to do it the way that you've been doing it? And unfortunately, because of the choices he's made, because of who he is, I mean, it's really not even a choice for him. This is just him. And I mean, he is an agent of chaos. He's not an agent of change. He's not disrupting to make it better. It's disrupting so you don't notice what he's doing. All right? That's really what this is. I mean, it's just typical, look over there while I steal you blind over here. It's that kind of energy, right? And so that's really what we've been coping with. And unfortunately, it's impacted our daily lives. You've got, again, people that are still out of work. You've got a stimulus that's never coming again. You've got, a pandemic that's killing people every day. We've got, over 100,000 cases every single day now. And we don't, it's not, and other than this news today about Pfizer getting a vaccine together, I don't know, it just seems like it's okay. And then all of the different super spreader events, what's going on? Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you tell everybody to wear a mask? You see, so there's been all this chaos surrounding just the virus. It doesn't even include everything else, right? And so we've not lived in temperance at all. We've been in crisis this whole time. And when you consider how abusive the man is, the majority of people in the country or the world have suffered abuse in their lives. This is familiar ground. It's familiar territory. It's like we're waiting to exhale. And for some have been able to. They've commented online how they've been able to, right? But again, it's this lack of temperance that we've been coping with. And now what the reading is signaling is it's time to manifest that now. To do it with intention, to come back into some kind of temperate, moderate balance to where we get rid of the extremes, the extreme emotion, the extreme expressions of will, and come back into some alignment, to where you're a little more focused on what needs to get done now. And what needs to get done is we need to rebuild our lives, and we need to come back into compassionate understanding of other people. It's not about, I guess there was a, was like a police chief or something. I don't know. I guess a police chief back east, one of the southern states, I think, said that, for a liberal, you just put a bullet in their head. Well, I'm a liberal and I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate that talk, especially from someone in authority, especially with the issues of police that we have right now towards black people and other people of color or protesters. You're seeing a disruption of people's fundamental rights by power that and authority that clearly is misusing it. And that's what I mean about some of us can just go along just fine and just deal with our lives and occasionally have to deal with outside nonsense. But you have some people that live and breathe it, that wake up with the fear and on high alert all the time for fear of what might happen to them. So that's what I mean. We've got two different kinds of things fundamentally going on, and we need to bring all, and you might even think about that in terms of extremes, right? So the idea behind temperance is to bring all of that into moderation, so collectively, but also that begins within. And so within we have to find a way to, they're talking about, you must forgive, you must embrace. Well, yeah, maybe eventually. But right now, I think the only thing we can do is just let things settle and not influence the hostility and the chaos any longer. Just let that go and see where we are from after all that happens. See where we are. Engage in compassion with other people, and be compassionate to yourself. If you're feeling out of sorts, just feel what you feel, kind of get yourself away from other people and just feel what you feel, examine it, figure out where's it coming from. If you're empathic, it might be something you're picking up, so be aware of that and shield if you have to. But if you are empathic, don't stay there. Don't stay in that focus. When empaths do that, you're creating a channel. Well, anyone, not just empaths, but when you do that, you create an energetic channel to other people, other energies that you need at some point to dissolve. And so you can do that. You can go within and you can just get meditative and visualize all of the channels of energy you have, to other people, other situations, other channels of thought, basically, because that's what it is. When you turn your attention, it's thought, okay? So you have to dissolve those channels of thinking. And you just visualize them dissolving. Some people call it cutting cords. If you want to cut them, that's fine. I don't do that. I feel it's kind of harsh. And the idea is that, if it's something important, then you can revisit it. It's not that you can't create the channel again. You can. It's just that right now we need to let things subside. We need to get out of the conflict. We need to come back into moderation. We need to rebuild. And we need to express compassion both within and without. And then, figure out another way, maybe, to, if we're looking at, say, Tristitia and Sawillo in terms of the Geomancy rune and Elder Futhark rune, then realistically, what if we look at it in terms of a positive or negative or a lessening or an increasing effect, Tristitia would have a lessening one. Or it could be lessening the impact of the will here with Sawillo. But on the other hand, it could also indicate the problem that we've had, which is the overinflation of ego and the expression of emotion that then gets you into a truck with flags and screaming and running people over and being a bully, right? Or going to a protest and deciding that you're going to incite violence, you're going to bring the guns, and to a peaceful protest you're on the other side of the equation again. You've got two sides going there, and one decides to get violent while the police stand there and do nothing, or attack the ones that are and arrest the peaceful protesters. Do you see the dichotomy we've been dealing with? The paradigm. It's false, and it cannot continue. And it's about losing our focus and getting so caught up into emotion, into a cause that's manufactured by one man who isn't who you think he is. So this is what's drawn us to this conflict, to this place we are now. And now we're seeing a shift with a new president, possibly into something else that's more compassionate and loving and working for the people, so that we can go back to our jobs, to living our lives in peace and tranquility and well, I know that's extreme, but because our lives aren't necessarily that. But the point is, I think that President-elect Biden said, we don't need, just because we're opponents doesn't mean we need to be enemies. Just, in other words, just because I might think a little bit differently than someone else doesn't make that person my enemy. It's just another opportunity for me to learn about another way of thinking. And if we could just leave it there, then we could get back to our work, and we could get back to, expressions of compassion and neighborliness and unity and harmony and all of that. Again, keeping some kind of balance between will and emotion. That's basically what we're talking about when we talk about Tristitia, which is, grief, and Sawillo, which is will. And so basically those two are going to align then very well with the Temperance card. Now, it's a change, Temperance, the numerology for that is 5. So we're talking about change and fulfillment, protection, the pentagram. No, not the sign for, even when inverted, not the sign for Satanism or the devil. No, that's just ego. That's all it means. And the inverted pentagram with the point, the top point pointing downward, is just a focus on form and earthly things. That's all that is. Don't take it into the realm of evil. It's not. I know it's been co-opted, but that's all it was. The truth of it isn't that at all. If I use it in spell work, if I have it turned upside down, it's because I'm dealing with something foundational versus drawing something in from spirit. I'm trying to invoke a change materially, is all, and afford some protection to that side of existence. So anyway, little witch tip. Anyway, I guess that's it. I'm kind of losing my voice again. Again, I'll do this again on Wednesday. But try to balance will with emotion today and start focusing again on mundane tasks. And if you need to go look for a job, go look for, get your resume in order. If you haven't already done that, start sending it out again. Maybe check in if you've already got some in. But don't give up if you're still struggling there. I'm sure that as time goes on, we're going to see a lot of natural resolution to all of this. But until that time comes, we still have to remain vigilant. You're still going to have to wear a mask, especially if you don't have the vaccine yet. And again, we'll have to see just how much we can trust it, and supposedly it's supposed to be pretty good, so we'll see. Did they get enough of the different mutations into it? I don't know. We'll see. But we may need to still be vigilant, after having the vaccine. And again, it's going to take time for the entire country to have it. So, but it's good news, isn't it? So lots of good news. Along with a new president, we have a vaccine. So, yay. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. And again, this will go up on the blog over there. I have to finish uploading. The esoteric influences for the week are still uploading. So as soon as that's done, I'll get this one going in the hopper. And you can see it over there. Or you can watch it on the YouTube channel. Either way. And I post it around too. Anyway, everywhere I am is below the video. You can follow me anywhere. And I usually follow back. If I don't, it's just because I didn't see it. So, in any event, thanks a lot, and we'll talk again on Wednesday. So, be good to yourself, be good to one another. Wear a mask if you go out around anyone at all, no matter where you are, inside or out. Please wear a mask, not just a face shield. And blessed be.